Oreo pudding for everybody today. So everyone's going to have one package, okay? And who can tell me on that package, what do we need to make Oreo pudding?
You need 2 cups of milk.
Okay, 2 cups of milk, and wait, we're going to let Nikki. Good. So we're going to use 1 box of mix, and Onyx says 2 cups of milk. Which, how many servings does that make?
1.5.
Look at your container. Thomas, how many servings does that make? Angelo, how many servings does it make?
Contrast on this isn't very good, but 2 equals
6.
Close.
it's 1/2.
4.
4.
It is 4 servings. So
I was going to
let's
say
talk
4.
about ratios. Ratios are relationships between 2 quantities. What is the ratio of 1 cup, 1 bag of mix, and 2 cups of milk? What are the 3 different ways to write the ratios?
Fraction.
Yes, Nikki.
1/2.
1/2, so 1/2. I'm picking who's raising their hands.
1/2.
Onyx. 1/2 is 1/2. 1:2. And what is the other way to write a ratio?
1, 2, 2.
1, 2, 2. Excellent. 1, 2, 2. So there's 3 ways. We're going to use the fraction. So next, what happens if we're going to make 2 boxes of mix? How many boxes do we need to make 2 boxes of mix? 2 bags of mix. Excellent. So we have 2 bags of mix. How much milk do we need?
6.
Okay, so what we're going to do is
4.
we're going to write our ratio 1/2.
4.
Hold on.
4.
1/2 is our ratio, and we're going to set it equal. How did you get from 1 to 2? 1 times what equals 2?
4.
1 times what equals 2?
4.
1 times what, Angelo, equals 2?
1
2.
times 2.
2. Thank you. 1 times 2 equals 2.
Plus.
So if I multiply the top by 2, what do I have to do to the bottom?
Multiply
Thomas.
by 2.
You have to multiply the bottom by 2. So 2 times 2 is 4. So if we're going to use 2 bags of milk, boxes of mix, to 4, thank you, Nikki, 4
And
cups
then
of milk,
Of serving.
and then that's going to make 8
8.
servings. Because we have our first row, which is 1 box. Our second row is
3.
2 boxes. So we're going to multiply 1 times 2 to get 2.
3.
2 times 2 to get 4, and 4 times 2 to get 8. Our next row, if we're going to use Thomas's box, Angela's box, and Nikki's box, what do? We're going to use
Multiply
3
it by-
mixes. So we're going to do what, Onyx?
We are going to
Multiply it by
3.
3. So now we're going to take our ratio of 1/2 times 3 on top times 3 on the bottom. What are you going to get? 1 times 3 is? Nikki?
3.
3. And 2 times 3 is? Thomas?
6.
6. Excellent. So if we have 3 bags of mix, 2, 6 cups of milk, okay, so if we take, how did you get from 1 to 3? We multiply by, how did you get from 1 to 3?
We multiply by 3.
Good. 1 times 3 is 3. 2 times 3 is 6. So then what do we do? 4
12.
times, if we multiply this by 3 to get 3, 2 times 3 to get 6, 4 times what?
12.
4 times 3 to get 12. Thank you, Thomas. Lastly, if we're going to use Thomas's pudding, Angela's pudding, Nikki's pudding, and Onyx's pudding, all 4 pudding boxes, what do we have to do? We're going to take our
Times
1/2
4.
ratio and times 4. What happens if I only multiply the mix by 4 and keep the milk at 2?
8. Then it's going to taste more
8.
like powder.
It's going to taste more like powder and mix. It's going to be more chunky.
8 cups of milk.
So, yes, we're going to have 1 times 4 is 4. 2 times, thank you, Thomas, is 8. And if we multiply 1 times 4 to get 4, 2 times 4 to get 8. times 4 is 16. Excellent.
Try and steal my
So we
credit,
have
man.
4 over 8.
You stole my credit. No. I told you this. No, you stole all my credit.
Okay,
I
so
knew all
now
the
what we're
answers.
going to do is I want to know who
See,
can
I knew
tell
all the
me.
answers. Huh.
Excellent. I'm glad you know the answers on that one. On slide 4, I want to know who can help answer. Or is it slide 2? We're going to go back. Okay, down below. Okay, next you're on page 6. Now we have bananas, blueberries, and smoothies. So we're going to make one smoothie here, right? So our first row is one smoothie. Our ratio is what? 2
Over
to 10, right? So then, if we have 2 over 10 equals, and then we have 30 blueberries, 10 times what is 30?
3.
3. So 10 times 3 is 30. And then what do we have to do? If we do something to the bottom, what do we have to do to the top?
Times it by 3.
Times by 3. So if we multiply the bottom by 3, we gotta multiply the top by 3. If we multiply the top by 3, you gotta do the bottom by 3. Otherwise, you're gonna have a very blueberry smoothie, or you're gonna have a very banana smoothie. So now you have 2 times 3 is 6. So now you're gonna use 6 bananas to 30 blueberries. So if we have 6 bananas to 30 blueberries, how many smoothies is this gonna make? How'd you get from 2 to 6? 2 times what was 6?
2 times 3.
2 times 3, Onyx. 2 times 3 is 6. Okay, now Nikki, 10 times what is 30?
3.
10 times 3 is 30. So if we multiply this by 3 and this by 3, what do we have to do by the last column? We have to multiply by 3. Excellent. So 6 bananas to 30 blueberries is going to make 3 smoothies. Lastly, we have 10 bananas. Now we're going to go back to our ratio. 2 bananas to 10 blueberries. Now if we have 10 bananas now, 2 times what is 10? Angelo, 2 times what is 10? 20. 2 times 5 is 10. As if you multiply the top by 5, multiply the bottom by 5. So 10 times 5 is 50. So if you multiply 2 by 5 to get 10, and 10 by 5 to get 50, what do you have? How many smoothies are you going to be able to make? 5, because you did 1 times. Great job, Onyx, to get your 5 smoothies. Now, who can come up here and help? Who has a box? And come on up here, Nikki. So we're going to put 1 package of Oreos into the milk. And Onyx, bring your package up. You get to also put your package in. And what happened if we've only put in 2 packages to only 2 cups
You get
of milk?
8.
What if you use 2 mixes and only 2 cups of milk?
Then
It's going to be very,
good. Bad.
it's going to be very thick, right?
Bad.
And then, I think somebody moved the measuring cup. Thank you. So next, what happens if I only put, I think the milk is still defrosted, frozen. Okay, so if we use 2 mixes and only 2 cups of milk because it's frozen, then it's going to be very chunky. So we want to make sure we can shake the milk up and we get the rest of the milk out.
Why is there chunky milk?
It's frozen still, which should have been unfrozen by now. Okay, so now we're going to add that in.
over there.
We're going to let Miss Onyx mix it and see what happens when you don't have enough
You
milk.
said I could mix it
You
next
can go to
time.
the fridge and see if there's enough. Or go put gonna come over here. We have 1 box of mix to 2 cups of milk, 2 mixes to 4 cups of milk, 3 mixes to 6 cups of milk, and 4 mixes to 8 cups of milk, right?
I have 0 mixes.
So if we have our table here of our x and our y's, how do we write 1 to 2 as a coordinate point? Nikki. We're going to write parenthesis x, comma, y, parenthesis. So we have parenthesis 1,
dot
comma,
2.
2, parenthesis. Excellent. On it. Now, if we're going to take from this table our next coordinate point, how do we make this into a coordinate point?
Okay, 2, 4.
2 and 4, because our first column is always our x, and our second column is always our y. So, Angelo,
Yep.
what is this coordinate right here?
3, 6.
3, comma 6. And Nikki, last one, 4 and 8. How do you make 4 and 8 a coordinate point? 4, 8. Excellent. So now we have 4 coordinate points. Nikki, can you come up here and can you graph 1, 2, our coordinate point, please? Here you go. You can do this. So how do we graph 1, 2? We always start at the origin and go over 2. We always go over 1 and then up our y's. So we start on our origin and we come over 2, 1, and up 2. Excellent. You put your point. Now make a big point there. And then you have to write your coordinate point. So write your coordinate point. Excellent. Parenthesis 1, comma 2. Parenthesis. Excellent. Now since you're already up here, I want you to graph 2, 4. Start at origin. You always go over first.
Can I do the next one?
Yes, you
Set the
may.
next one.
Come on up, Angelo. And up 4. Excellent. And then you put your dot there, your point. And then you write your coordinate point there. Excellent. You just gotta make sure we do our coordinate point. Excellent. Here you go, Angelo. Here you go, Thomas. You can add an extra 2 cups in there and pour it into onyxes.
How was that going?
So we always go over first and then up second. So you start here and go over first. It's okay. Start here and go over first. Alright. We'll add it after. It's okay. Over 3 and up to 6. Excellent. And you made your point there. And then now write your coordinate point. Write your coordinate.
Frozen milk. Hey, we can make a frozen pudding.
It happens. Onyx, come on up.
I
Good.
mixed
So
it.
you have 3, 8, and a smiley face. Excellent.
What do you want?
High five. Good job. All right. Here you go. Onyx, you're gonna plot 4, 8 on our graph, on our coordinate plane. So we start at the origin, over 4, excellent, and up to 8. Very good. Great job, Thomas. Thank you. You can add that to the...
Don't worry.
And you always write your coordinate out.
Don't worry, it's just comfy.
Excellent. So now, does everybody understand how to graph, how to get your coordinate points from your table? Nikki, do you understand how to get your coordinate points from your table? Angelo, do you understand how to graph your
Yeah.
coordinate points? Now, when you are here, you always start at your origin, go over first, up second, So on the bottom, what is this? Is this your milk or is this your mix?
I don't know.
That's your mix.
This is your mix. Excellent. Because this is your X. And then what is this over here?
Your
Milk.
Your milk.
Meat.
Excellent. So for every 1 cup of mix, you have 2
Pumpy.
cups of milk.
I love
Every 2 packages of mix, you have 2 cups of milk. For every 3 packages of mix, you have
Keep stirring fast.
6 cups of milk. And then lastly, for every 4
That
things
looks
of
very
mix,
Yeah,
you
I
have
think
8
it's gonna be
cups of
pretty
milk.
good. Wink, wink.
Alright, let's see. Can I see?
Looks like it's.
So whatever we do to the top, we always do to the bottom. So if we multiply by 2
And whatever we do to the bottom, we do
to the top, then we do it multiply by 2 to the bottom. What if we're dividing? If we divide the top by 2, then we have to
divide it by the bottom.
divide the bottom by 2, and that's what makes it an equivalent fraction. Alright, so once everybody has a plate, everyone can come on up, grab a plate, and we can finish mixing and add it to your,
Are you sure that's pudding?
and you can have a plate.
You should put it.
Yes, everyone sees, does this look like pudding?
Yes.
Nice and thick. Alright.
No, it's
Thank you, Miss Amy.
poison.
You're welcome.
Wink, wink.
Oh wait,